many cases, the magic force may be supposed to take effect through mimicry or sympathy. By imitating the desired result you actually produce it. By counterfeiting the sun's progress through the heavens, you really help the luminary to pursue his celestial journey with punctuality and dispatch. The name fire of heaven, by which the midsummer fire is sometimes popularly known, clearly implies a consciousness of a connection between the earthly and the heavenly flame. Again, the manner in which the fire appears to have been originally kindled on these occasions has been alleged in support of the view that it was intended to be a mock sun. As some scholars have perceived, it is highly probable that at the periodic festivals in former times fire was universally obtained by the friction of two pieces of wood. It is still so procured in some places, both at the Easter and the Midsummer festivals, and it is expressly said to have been formerly so procured at the Beltane celebration, both in Scotland and Wales. But what makes it nearly certain that this was once the invariable mode of kindling the fire at these periodic festivals is the analogy of the need fire, which has almost always been produced by the friction of wood, and sometimes by the revolution of a wheel. It is a plausible conjecture that the wheel employed for this purpose represents the sun, and if the fires at the regularly recurring celebrations were formerly produced in the same way, it might be regarded as a confirmation of the view that they were originally sun charms. In point of fact, there is, as Kuhn has indicated, some evidence to show that the midsummer fire was originally thus produced. We have seen that many Hungarian swineherds make fire on Midsummer Eve by rotating a wheel round a wooden axle wrapped in hemp, and that they drive their pigs through the fire thus made. At Obermedlingen in Swabia, the fire of heaven, as it was called, was made on St. Vitus's Day, or the 15th of June, by igniting a cartwheel, which, smeared with pitch and plated with straw, was fastened on a pole 12 feet high, the top of the pole being inserted in the nave of the wheel. The fire was made on the summit of a mountain, and as the flame ascended, the people uttered a set form of words, with eyes and arms directed heavenward. Here the fixing of a wheel on a pole and igniting it suggests that originally the fire was produced, as in the case of the need fire, by the revolution of a wheel. The day on which the ceremony takes place, the 15th of June, is near midsummer, and we have seen that in Masuren fire is, or used to be, actually made on Midsummer Day by turning a wheel rapidly about an oaken pole, though it is not said that the new fire so obtained is used to light a bonfire. However, we must bear in mind that in all such cases the use of a wheel may be merely a mechanical device to facilitate the operation of fire-making by increasing the friction. It need not have any symbolical significance. Further, the influence which these fires, whether periodic or occasional, are supposed to exert on the weather and vegetation may be cited in support of the view that they are sun charms, since the effects ascribed to them resemble those of sunshine. Thus, the French belief that in a rainy June the lightning of the midsummer bonfires will cause the rain to cease appears to assume that they can disperse the dark clouds and make the sun to break out in radiant glory, drying the wet earth and dripping trees. Similarly, the use of the need fire by Swiss children on foggy days for the purpose of clearing away the mist may very naturally be interpreted as a sun charm. In the Vosges Mountains, the people believe that the midsummer fires help to preserve the fruits of the earth and ensure good crops. In Sweden, the warmth or cold of the coming season is inferred from the direction in which the flames of the May Day bonfire are blown. If they blow to the south, it will be warm; if to the north, cold. No doubt at present the direction of the flames is regarded merely as an augury of the weather, not as a mode of influencing it. but we may be pretty sure that this is one of the cases in which magic has dwindled into divination. So in the Eifel Mountains, when the smoke blows towards the cornfields, this is an omen that the harvest will be abundant. But the older view may have been not merely that the smoke and flames prognosticated, but that they actually produced an abundant harvest, the heat of the flames acting like sunshine on the corn. Perhaps it was with this view that people in the Isle of Man lit fires to windward of their fields in order that the smoke might blow over them. So in South Africa, about the month of April, the Matabeles light huge fires to the windward of their gardens, their idea being that the smoke by passing over the crops will assist the ripening of them. Among the Zulus also, medicine is burned on a fire placed to windward of the garden, the fumigation which the plants in consequence receive being held to improve the crop. Again, the idea of our European peasants that the corn will grow well as far as the blaze of the bonfire is visible may be interpreted as a remnant of the belief in the quickening and fertilizing power of the bonfires. The same belief, it may be argued, reappears in the notion that embers taken from the bonfires and inserted in the fields will promote the growth of the crops, and it may be thought to underlie the customs of sowing flaxseed in the direction in which the flames blow, of mixing the ashes of the bonfire with the seed corn at sowing, of scattering the ashes by themselves over the field to fertilize it, and of incorporating a piece of the Yule log in the plough to make the seeds thrive. The opinion that the flax or hemp will grow as high as the flames rise, or the people leap over them, belongs clearly to the same class of ideas. Again, at Cons, on the banks of the Moselle, if the blazing wheel which was trundled down the hillside reached the river without being extinguished, this was hailed as a proof that the vintage would be abundant. So firmly was this belief held that the successful performance of the ceremony entitled the villagers to levy a tax upon the owners of the neighbouring vineyards. Here the unextinguished wheel might be taken to represent an unclouded sun, which in turn would portend an abundant vintage. So the wagon load of white wine which the villagers received from the vineyards round about might pass for a payment for the sunshine which they had procured for the grapes. Similarly, in the Vale of Glamorgan, a blazing wheel used to be trundled downhill on Midsummer Day, and if the fire were extinguished before the wheel reached the foot of the hill, the people expected a bad harvest; whereas, if the wheel kept alight all the way down and continued to blaze for a long time, the farmers looked forward to heavy crops that summer. Here again it is natural to suppose that the rustic mind traced a direct connection between the fire of the wheel and the fire of the sun, on which the crops are dependent. But in popular belief, the quickening and fertilizing influence of the bonfires is not limited to the vegetable world; it extends also to animals. This plainly appears from the Irish custom of driving barren cattle through the midsummer fires, from the French belief that the Yule log steeped in water helps cows to calve, from the French and Serbian notion that there will be as many chickens, calves, lambs, and kids as there are sparks struck out of the Yule log, from the French custom of putting the ashes of the bonfires in the fowls' nests to make the hens lay eggs, and from the German practice of mixing the ashes of the bonfires with the drink of cattle in order to make the animals thrive. Further, there are clear indications that even human fecundity is supposed to be promoted by the genial heat of the fires. In Morocco, the people think that childless couples can obtain offspring by leaping over the midsummer bonfire. It is an Irish belief that a girl who jumps thrice over the midsummer bonfire will soon marry and become the mother of many children. In Flanders, women leap over the midsummer fires to ensure an easy delivery. In various parts of France, they think that if a girl dances round 9 fires, she will be sure to marry within the year, and in Bohemia they fancy that she will do so if she merely sees 9 of the bonfires. On the other hand, in Lxiii people say that